I have Fusion open. As you can see over here is the panel, place I can save files. I'm going to hide the data panel. First thing I'm going to do is to save this file. File, save. We'll give it some name. Now I want to create a three-dimensional solid, but I'm going to do that by extruding a two-dimensional sketch. Right here I can click this to create a sketch, and I need to select a two-dimensional plane on which to create that sketch. I go ahead and select this one, and up here I have different sketch tools. I can also drop down and see many more sketch tools. I'm going to make a rectangle. There are different kinds of rectangles I can make. I'm going to select a two-point rectangle and drop that rectangle in like that. Now I noticed that this was dimensioning in inches, which means that I'm using Fusion in inches. I want to change that document setting. I'm going to drop down document settings here under units, inches. I'm going to select this and change to millimeters. One of the sketch tools is sketch dimension. I can click on it here. I can also select D on the keyboard. I'm going to left click on that line, click over here. I want this to be 10 millimeters. I'm going to left click on this line, left click down here to place the dimension. I want this to be 10 millimeters. I'm going to use the scroll wheel to zoom in. Now I have this 10 millimeter by 10 millimeter square, and I realize, oh, I didn't want this to be 10 millimeters, I wanted it to be 12. Well, I can double click on that and change it to 12. If I press escape, I get out of that dimension tool. Let me also change this one to 8. Now I have my rectangle. I want to extrude this into a solid. Up here, I'm going to select solid and extrude. All right, now I don't like looking at this from the top. For the extrusion, I want to look at a different angle. I'm going to depress and hold down the scroll wheel on the mouse and drag the mouse to get a different orientation. And you can adjust what happens when you do that down here. If I don't have that, I can left click on this box, hold down and drag, or just click different points on that box to get different views. I can drag this arrow up and extrude this 6 millimeters, but I don't want it 6 millimeters. I'm going to change it in here to 5 millimeters. All right. Now I realize that I didn't want that to be 5 millimeters. I actually wanted it to be 6 millimeters. I'm going to right click on this feature and select Edit Feature. Come in here and change that to 6 millimeters. And I realized that I didn't want this to be a rectangle of this shape. I'm going to right click on the sketch, click Edit Sketch. This 8, I actually wanted 10. Click Finish Sketch. Everything updates. Now I realize that I want a hole in this. There's two ways I can do this. I can do a new sketch. Instead of one of these planes, I can just select a plane that's the surface here, select the circle tool, put in my circle, and click Solid, Extrude, select the area inside the circle, drag that down, and have cut selected here. I can do some distance, and I can tailor that distance to, say, the 6 millimeters, or in this case, -6 millimeters, or I can say distance to object, and just click the other side of the rectangle, and it will cut that all the way through. Okay, that's what I want. I want to see what this looks like without that. I can just drag that out, drag that back. I decide I don't like how I've done that. I can click Delete. I don't even like this sketch. I'm going to delete that sketch. I'm going to put that circle in by editing this sketch. I'm going to drop that circle right in there. Finish sketch. it doesn't show up. I need to come in here and edit this feature. What is selected? Currently there are two things selected. I'm going to get rid of both of them. I'm just going to select the area on the outside of the circle. Click OK. Now I have that circular hole in there. But it's the wrong size and it's in the wrong place. I'm going to right click, edit this sketch. I'm going to press D to get Dimension tool. Click on here. I want this circle to be 3.45 millimeters in diameter. I want this circle to be a certain distance from that side. That distance is 5 millimeters. I want the circle to be a certain distance from this side. And that distance is 4 millimeters. That's definitely more what I'm looking for. I'm going to click Finish Sketch. I want to go ahead and save this. File, Save. User saved. Okay. Now I want to submit this file. I'm going to come up here, click Export. I have different file types I can select, but I'm going to leave it with the native F3D file type. Some other CAD software can open some of these other file types. I'm going to go ahead and put that into Downloads and press Export. Now I can share that file with someone else and they can open it in Fusion 360.